So it's always a good idea to have the right tool for the right job. That's what I've always been told. So to get in today's just a little episode, it's an update to the wheat harvesting. So I've harvested the wheat. What's growing there is mostly weeds and grass. So yeah, that's what's going on there. I mean, you can't really, there's not very much wheat left. I didn't get every single piece to it, but I tried the best that I could. And it was a lot of back-breaking work. So, but yeah, so this has been a process over the past, I don't know what, 2 or 3 weeks now. When I started harvesting and then doing all the threshing and doing all the work, and then using the right tool for the job. And if you were wondering what this is the tool that I used to thresh the wheat, and we will get into that in a minute. So let's see if we can't get over there, and I'll zoom in on what is basically left and discuss what's been going on and what happened. So bear with me really quick. We're going to zoom in. It's all blurry, it'll be fine. All right, so this is all weeds. This is what's left. There's not any, there's a little bit of weed in here. I mean, it's so small, you can't see that. That's what's left of the wheat. It's not much of anything. So I couldn't get all of it because it was so small. I mean, and it just wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop raining. It just every day it rained, and then, Fridays, I was able to try to come out, but it was raining. It was raining those days too. So it was hard. So we decided to take a quick little vacation, and then we did that. This was about 2 weeks ago. And then as soon as we came back that Saturday, I came out here and just harvested everything that I could get. And it took me a few hours to get it harvested, and trying to get it all situated and separated, and to try to figure out what the game plan was, because I had really no idea how this was going to work. I mean, you can watch other videos online on YouTube on how to harvest the wheat and then how to do all the work. I did take some videos of how what my setup. I didn't show anything of the threshing of it, but it's kind of boring. I mean, but what this tool is here, this is how I threshed it. I'm gonna, hopefully, if I can do this right, insert some of the videos of what my setup, what it looked like. I had some buckets, and then I used this tool here. All this is it's a 3/4 inch rod, and with chains on it. And then you attach this into a drill, not a cordless drill, but you need a wire drill, because you can get the speed that you need to get this bad boy spinning. And then that's basically what you do. You take your wheat, you take the heads, you put it in a bucket, put a lid on it, put this bad boy in there and let it spin. That's just kind of like the quick version of it. But yeah, and it was just a process. It took me time trying to figure everything out, how I was going to do it. And then so once I got it kind of figured out, it took me a minute to figure it out, because I tried, once I harvested that day, I tried using that tool to kind of thresh it a little bit, but it wasn't, and I think I left the stems too long. See if I can't find, left the stems too long on the heads, and they were getting wrapped around. This pretty good, and it was just like clogging it up. So I had to go back another day. So I kind of basically let everything sit in the bucket. I mean, it was already dried, so it's not gonna hurt anything. And then I started when I had a free time, I went through there and basically started pulling everything out of one bucket and putting in another, and just cutting the heads off, because it made it a lot easier to use this tool. I mean, you can do it that way. Everything's just gonna wrap around it and make it hard to thresh it, because you need these chains to spin freely to work. So that's what I did. I'll show that in another clip. And then that was a process of, it took me like 3 hours to get the heads off one day, and then no, I did all that one day. Took the heads off, and then that was about 3 hours worth of work, and then another couple hours of just putting in the bucket, and then I used the fan to separate, because once you get it all broken up and everything's kind of just pulverized in there, you take another empty bucket and you dump it in there, but then you use a fan to separate it, which I didn't, like I said, I didn't show any of this process, and then you separate it, and it'll blow all the chaff and all that stuff away, and the wheat berries, they'll fall into the other bucket, and you just keep doing that process basically back and forth until you separate it. I did not get a lot of berries. I guess I didn't do it properly. I learned a lot by doing this. When I put out my seeds and everything, a lot of them didn't germinate, or if they did, it took a lot longer than everything else. That's why I have some other ones that are just like, they're only about this tall. So I learned some stuff by doing this. So that was interesting. So I put out a pound, and I probably got it back, about a quarter of that back. I don't know, because there's still some, I mean, they're only about yay tall in the heads of them, but they're very small. So I didn't get a lot back. And then I'll show that, put that in there of what I got. And then we took it over, or actually no, took it to church, and then the pastor's wife, she actually makes her own bread, and she buys her own wheat berries. She doesn't grow it, but she buys the wheat berries from a store in town, and she grinds up her own and makes her own flour. So she brought her grinder to church, and she ground it for us one day right after church. And it didn't take, I mean, it took all about a minute, because I didn't have a whole lot, which was fine. This was just the first time experience, see how this was going to work. And it was pretty neat seeing it just, there was a flower. It was pretty cool, and it came all out nice and warm. So that was last weekend, and then so today I think my wife, she's going to try to make some bread and make some stuff. So when she gets that ready and prepared, we'll go in there and we'll show you the finished product of what it's going to look like. So I'm very excited to try it. This is the first time ever making bread, doing this at all. So this is not an in-depth process. There's a lot of other YouTubers that do that. I think there's one called Epic Gardening. I think he's got a pretty good, like, from basically showing how he prepared the ground and then sowing the seed, and then over months, because I started this in mid-February, and by the end of May, it was ready to harvest, but I waited a little too longer, I think, to harvest it, because it wouldn't stop raining, and it was just like, because I work, and then when you get off work, it's raining, so I couldn't do what I needed to do. And the sun is finally coming out and harshing the mellow here. Let's adjust that for just a minute. But yeah, so as soon as we get that ready, I will show you that and be back in a minute. All right, so now we're back inside. The wife, she'd made me this wonderful and beautiful loaf here. This is all I was able to make, just one loaf of bread. It's not like, she made it different from a different recipe, so that's why it kind of looks like this. It's not like traditional where it's got that line in the center where, you know, you see where it kind of opens up. She used whatever she found online, and it's got, like, of course, the wheat flour, and then it's got some salt, some water, and it said called for honey, so that's what she put in it. It's got a little bit of heft to it. It feels a little heavy. I don't know how many cups. It was like 3 or so cups of what flour that she was able to put. There was no extra flour. This is straight from what we grew in the garden here. So I'm gonna set this to the side, set this on the counter. I'm gonna cut into it. I don't know, I got 2 different kinds of knives here. We're gonna try one and see how it works. I really don't know how to do this. I am not a bread guy, so that's just, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. We've been kind of like wondering, it's kind of hard. It's kind of heavy. Oh, the bottom is a little done, I think. We're gonna cut it, tear it. So if you can see this is what it looks like. There's still a little bit of steam coming out of it too. That's kind of cool. Alrighty, so this is the bread. It's still kind of, I don't know if it's I guess it's done all the way, or I don't know. It's still a little, I won't say moist, or I don't know if it's cooked all the way through, I guess, but it's pretty close. But the outside of it, it's got a nice hard little outsiding to it. I'm gonna take a bite. I'm not gonna tell you my opinion because I want you to make this for yourself and then decide whether you like it or don't like it. So you need to grow it, do the work, and then try it. So here we go. All right. I'm gonna say, it tastes like bread. Who would have thought, right? Anyways, so that's it. Took a few months to get here to this process, and I think it was well worth it. I'm grateful that I did it, and we'll see if we do this again. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Until next time, peace till we meet again. Ramble on.